But what about the consequences of eating raw foods or living foods for an extended period of time? What are the results? And can you be really sure that you're getting everything that you need from raw foods? Is that enough? Okay, so for anyone who asks that question, I would ask, how do you know right now that you're getting enough of everything? Most people would say, well, I just, eat the standard diet like everyone else. This is how my parents were eating. So that's interesting. So okay, then let's take a look at how you're doing. Because luckily, in that case, you have millions of others who are living that way. And so you can study them. You can study the statistics and see what's in store for you. Probably. If you're eating like that, if you're living like that, then you will probably getting the same results that they are getting. So what results are they getting? Well, actually, half of them die from heart disease. At least half of them develop cancers during their lifetimes. Now, these are lifestyle diseases. These are not older people diseases. So this is not something that naturally happens in our bodies. This is something that happens as a result of an action. And the action is the lifestyle and the diet that you have. Okay, so these are diseases that people get towards the end of their life. What about everyday life? Well, most people have a fluctuating energy level. So they have energy highs and then they have energy lows. And a lot of people are even dependent on stimulating substances such as coffee just to get through the workday. A lot of people, most people, have some kind of tensions in their body. Most people get a cold a couple of times a year. Most people develop different sorts of degenerative diseases. It can be diabetes, or it can be osteoporosis, it can be arthritis, or it can be problems such as depression, candida. And so most people develop some of these during their lifetime as well. Most people are tired after having a meal. Most people have problems with their digestive system. They get heartburn sometimes. They get gas sometimes. They sometimes have diarrhea. They usually feel that there's something going on in their stomach, even though it's not hurting them. It's taking a lot of energy, actually most of the time. Now all of these are results of a particular lifestyle and diet. If you want different results, you would logically make different choices. So what choices would you make? Actually, we're really lucky because there's so much information and research out there that can help. Here's one way of going about it. So, okay, let's say that there are all of these lifestyle diseases that we have. Are there ways of curing them or reversing them? There are. So let's look at that. Now, if we look at all of these different doctors and therapists that have become very successful in particular areas, maybe we will get a clue. Okay, heart disease, for instance. There are doctors who know exactly how to reverse heart disease. Now, all of that is based on a diet and lifestyle changes, such as less stress. Okay, so there's a diet change for heart disease. Cancer, diet. Diabetes, diet. Get the right diet, and within a month, you can cure your type 2 diabetes. Okay? And if you start looking at all of that, the really interesting part is that actually it's one type of diet that is lurking in the background. And that happens to be the same diet that also gives athletes top performance. And it's also the same diet that leaves people with a lot of energy throughout the day. And it's also the same diet that clears up your emotions, that gives you access to your emotions in a different way than any other diet. Now, you might stick to what you know, and you can be fairly sure of the results you're going to get. Millions of people have done it. There's a lot of statistics. You can look at it all, and you know what you can expect. But if you wanted to, you could try a different diet. A living foods diet. Now, this diet that I was talking about, it's a diet that's based on living foods, raw foods. So this would be raw, fresh, so it's not cooked in any way and it's fresh, ripe, organic, so it doesn't have a lot of pesticides and other things, fruits, vegetables, berries, mainly. So you would eat that until you're full. Also, it's important to keep it low fat. So low fat means about 10 to 15% of the energy should be coming from fat. And that could be some nuts or some avocados that you might be eating. And third thing that is really important on that diet is make sure that you have enough greens, leafy greens, and that you vary them so you have different leafy greens at different times. So actually it's pretty easy, and I mean there's a lot of information out there. You can read about it and find recipes, and the thing is that you don't even have to have recipes if you don't like cooking, because you can have a meal out of just one fruit. You could have a banana meal. You could have your 6 to 12 bananas, and that's your meal, that's your lunch. If you wanted to, you could make it that easy. So the choice is ours. We know what we have on the standard diet, and we see what we can get from the living foods diet. And actually it only takes a few days, a few weeks, or perhaps even a few months before we can really feel it in our own bodies. Give it a try.